Hello guys, this is Team United here, Chris Brzezinski speaking. We got a Team United member here, Joel White, is now a two-time ARG winner. He just won the recent ARG Vegas. What did you play there?
Everyone's favorite Burning Fairy deck, Trickstars.
Awesome. Now the deck list is posted on the ARG Facebook group, but let's look at the deck profile here, see some of his choices and some of the matchups he had over the weekend.
Alright, so I started off with a standard ratio of 3, 3, 1. Right now, multiple libels isn't that great. It might get good in the future with this becoming more of a link-focused deck, but for right now, this is the best possible ratio.
Sure.
I also played 3 Eater. I decided to play this even over like Dark Hole because it was way better against Spirals. It was significantly better against the Mirror. And this is actually just better against most Rogue. The only thing it wasn't better against was Magicians, but I actually didn't play any Magicians the entire event again. So, I mean, that was insane, but this card is so good. It's just capable of banishing like a Helix you Ash or like a Helix that might have Last Resort equip or anything good like that.
Yeah, Eater of Millions does, or Trickstar has a problem with attacking over monsters, so Eater of Millions mitigates that.
Yeah, and the synergy with Pot of Desires is real.
Yeah.
And then the one of Gofu, because it's Gofu. It's a good turn 1 link play, gets you Omega, it does a lot of stuff. It can make an Ingursu.
Oh yeah, Gofu needs no introductions.
Yeah.
Card's just broken.
And now for the best part of the deck, the hand traps. I got 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Droll and Lockbird, 3 Ghost Ogre, and Maxi. Oh! Okay, let's go back there. Alright, so these are this is like the best ratio. I figured I was considering before the event cutting Ogre to 2, but I really couldn't find a one of I wanted to replace it with, and I feel like Ogre still answers a lot of stuff, so I decided to play this. But if I found like 2 other cards I really didn't like in my deck, I would cut both. But like I felt the entire deck was perfect outside of maybe the 1 Ogre. But I still like this ratio. Ash is insane, Droll's insane, Ogre's insane, Maxi is the god card.
Yeah, it would explain why you would want Maxi in every opening hand, right?
Yeah. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
This is Maxi, Jesus.
Alright. And alright, we got the standard 6 field spells. This card's insane. Most people don't realize it's not once per turn. People have tried to ogre this at the event like 3 times, the search effect. I'm like, what are you smoking?
Yeah, it activates. It resolves upon activation,
yeah.
So.
For the longest time, I was considering cutting Scapegoat to 2, but you really need playmakers in this deck, even though it is kind of bad to see multiples, so, like, I had to play all 4 of it. I don't think I did lose a single game when I resolved this, unless, like, I go end phase resolve and they sleep or just keep blowing up my stuff. But this card's really good just for chump blocking. It makes beat sticks, which is important. It lets you draw cards. It just does so much for this deck. It's, like, by far, I'd say, the best card in the deck to actually resolve.
Right, it lets you go in your extra deck.
3 Cosmic, because it's a good card going second, and it's a pseudo trap. And also, if you play a Spiral player who's bad, you can make a misplay and, like, hit their field spell or something. Or maybe they don't only have the field spell. But you hit their field spell, and then if you have another one, you can... when they try to go Sleeper effect, you can hit their equip card if they target Sleeper itself and then just nuke their entire board, which is insane. And then another card I was really debating at for the longest time playing at 3, but I really decided to was 3 Pot of Desires, just because when I sided cards in, I wanted to see them. This card's really good. Obviously, it's draw 2. It has synergy with Eater of Millions, so I just decided to bump it up to 3. That was really good. I saw it a few times in multiples, and I did resolve multiples sometimes, but like it was still insane. I liked it. One Raigeki. I'm not playing Dark Hole because I kept drawing a late game and having to nuke my own boards. This honestly isn't that great against Spiral. It's good against everything else that's not Spiral though, but because like Spiral's the main deck, it's like this. Although one time I did blow at a player who like Book of Eclipse just flipped his own sleeper, and then I Raigeki'd him, and then his sleeper nuked his own board. But that was really good. And, yeah.
Jesus.
And then the, what's it called, and then the only traps I play are the 3 Reincarnation, because it's really good. I mean, this card's probably going to go to 1. If it goes to 2, this deck is still really insane. The deck is still good if it goes to 1, but, like, right now 3 is really good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you reduce it any more than 3, you reduce your chances of just, like, burning your opponent out in the turn.
Yeah. This card's weird, though, because unless you see Droll and Lock, you don't want to actually draw this card, though.
You're right. You want to search it. Like, obviously, with your Candina, you just want to search more Trickstar monsters, typically.
Yeah. I usually side out 1 going second, but other than that, it's pretty good. It's important. Now for the, let's go extra first. I play double Link Spider. I didn't feel 3 was necessary, because, like, you don't really go into like Scapegoat or stuff like that more than once. Like unless you draw Gofu and Scapegoat, I've never really needed another Link Spider. And like even then, you still have other plays to do. Like even though they might not be the most optimal. Akashik, I didn't make him the entire event, but it was insane. Still, like it's good for bouncing back stuff, restarting your own boards, getting rid of misplaced sleepers and all that. This is literally just for the draw combo. You pretty much never make her unless you need a beat stick. Mrs. Radiant, which was actually really important because with Gofu you make him just to be a beat stick, but he's actually just really good with Scapegoat to summon this Link Spider, and then just like beat over a ton of stuff. And then because you end with that specifically in main phase 2, you can actually start going into Link plays. And if they have the strike, then they're just super low. Proxy Dragon, just because it's a good generic card to get you to other cards. Holy Angel, because this is actually a really important card just for beating over stuff and sometimes going for exact game. It's actually really good to link with too. Like if you need, let's say I need to make a decode and I'm using my Trickstar monsters, you can link up into this, burn, and then link up into like a decode or something like that, and then you'll have this engrave for later to re-revive off Reincarnation, which is really good. Other than that, it's really just there to beat over stuff.
All right.
Decode Talker, this card was amazing. I actually made this like 3 times the event. It won me every single time. Shout out to Chris.
Told you that card's good. Yeah. I don't know why you didn't play it.
So good. Ningirsu, because like it's just good for outing stuff. Lets you draw cards and do stuff. Borlo, because it steals cards. Firewall for the FDK, although I think I've only attempted that once the event, but it got I think top deck or something like that. And then card a lot of people don't play, but I think it's incorrect not to play, is Top Logic. Just this card lets you burn, it lets you Raigeki boards. This card is like the best by far, I think, out of the rank 4s, even better than Borlo, even though it doesn't come up as much. I think this card absolutely should be played. And the only Synchro I play is the 1 Omega for the side and then the Gofu. And then the last 2 cards I play probably the most made card in the extra, although this event I only made them like once or twice, Break Sword. And then I consider most of the stuff mandatory, and then like my one tech card is Grand Pulse, just because I find sometimes I want to make Break Sword, but I want to have something to sit on, and I don't want to blow up one of my own cards, so I really like Grand Pulse for that. I actually made him like 4 times the entire event. Sometimes I'd make him, like if I had multiple hand traps, I'd just make him, blow up a Spiral player's board, and then like hand trap him again, and then just like wait till I draw more cards to beat over his monster or something like that. Sometimes I just, after I attack, or no, actually the best things I would do is against your match, I would make this in defense because it's hard to get over, and then I'd have their setback, or they didn't respond with locked with the field spell, so I'd make Grand Pulse after attacking with 2 Licorices, make this, hit their back row, and like 3 times, I swear, it was like Scapegoat.
Nice. Alright, see the side deck.
Alright, I play 2 Kaijus. I would play a 3rd if I had the room, but like I just didn't have the room. It's insane with Akashik. It's good for Rogue. It does a lot of stuff, and it's even really good against Spiral too, because most of the time they just end on Decode Sleeper. I play probably the best side card is the Gamma package. This card's insane just to negate. It's the best card to possibly play against Spiral. Like even if they ash it, it's good because they can't really link up and make Decode without punishing themselves.
Right, and it's not once per turn, and it sticks in your hand if they ash it, so
it's not once per turn.
It can just negate the next thing.
Yeah. If you actually resolve in your turn, you can make Omega. It does a lot of good stuff. I mean, Driver sucks, but I mean, it's worth the price.
Yeah, the card's broken.
Evenly matched. I found myself halfway through the tournament not wanting to actually play this against Spiral, because like, it's like I can't go for any really damage if I use evenly matched, and even then they generally leave up Sleeper. But the thing with like that kept me putting it in is I saw most Spiral players actually like just, instead of going for what's it called, or for Sleeper, they would actually end up going for like Quick Fix just to get Sleeper back next turn, and like having like an empty board of like nothing, which was like crazy to me. But I mean, this card it's really good. Obviously, just it might not be the best card against Spiral because like this is what they're all preparing for. The best going first cards. One second, turn this off. Best going first cards, a whole Solemn Brigade. Let's call it. This one's just kind of there because it's another good Solemn card. But my friend Adrian Gonzalez actually made a really good point about these cards that even as a going second or going first, they're still good for breaking a board. So if they manage to get past you, make a board, this card can still help you make a break one, which is really good. So I really wanted to play it because of that. And then Warning's just a really good answer too. And I had 2 spots left, and so for this event I decided to play Unending, but this card was dead every time I saw it until like the finals, where I literally, the most use I got out of this was literally popping a spell card, and that let him special summon from hand. That is the most I've got out of this card. I would totally trade this for either Duo Dust Storm or maybe even Skullmeister.
Alright, so any memorable matchups you had over the weekend?
See, I played Max Reynolds in round 6. Shout out to Max. But definitely one of my favorite opponents the entire weekend. He beat me in top what's called or in Swiss Cup, or yeah, no, in Swiss.
He beat you in Swiss, but then you won in Top Cut.
Yeah, he beat me in Swiss. What's called, and I beat him in Top Cut. But he pretty much like was like my best tiebreaker through the event, so he like really carried me into like the high things and
the higher seats.
Yeah, the higher seats. So shout out to Max for that. Let's see. I played a really close mirror in round 7. That was insane. And then on Top Cut, actually this is crazy. I don't know how I won this, but I won the first game. I lost the second game, and then game 3, I potted desired, banished Candina, my Lilybell, and all 3 of my Licorices. But like I had a Gofu, so I straight up just sat on decode the game and just played beatdown. Like I don't know how I won that. Let's see, and then I think the next round I played Max. I could be wrong. I think he was either top 8 or top 4. But
You played Max in top 8.
Top 8, yeah. I played Max in top 8, and I double draw and locked him, which sucks. But like, I mean, what are you gonna do? He almost outplayed me though, because like I didn't shotgun it because I was afraid of like an Ash or something. I had a double reincarnation set, and like it's incorrect to shotgun that because statistically a competitive player is gonna have Ash or Gamma, and they're gonna be more likely to draw into it. So it's better just to wait for them to do something. So like he goes in battle, he has a terrible hand, like with a driver and Ash and like unplayable cards. He goes enter battle, and I shotgun the thing, and he banishes his hand, draws some. I see that he's banished an Ash, his driver, and then the rest of his cards were bad. So I just decide to flip up the second reincarnation. He doesn't have an answer to that, and I draw, and then it's just game.
Jesus. Do you know like your exact number of matchups, like how many Spiral you played, how many Trickstar?
I want to say I played. My Top Cut was straight Spiral, which is like probably the biggest reason I won, because this deck is built to beat Spiral.
Right.
Like,
yeah, you got like 10 hand traps in there.
Yeah, this is just insane. Like, and my main decks go with like Eater, and like I cut the dead Dark Hole, and I did a lot of stuff too. But yeah, Top Cut was straight Spiral. I know I played at least 4 or 5 Spiral in Swiss, 2 mirrors, an Invoked player who I think also topped, which is actually another good tiebreaker.
I think the Invoked player played Avery Foster in top 16.
Yeah, I think it was. I also played a Magical Musketeer player round 1, and I think that was about it.
Okay. You have any shout-outs you'd like to give before we end this deck profile?
Yeah, shout out to Team United, shout out to Max for carrying me, shout out to the man behind the camera, Chris Brzezinski, for making it second in the finals. And really, other than that, that's about it.
All right, thank you, Joel. We look forward to your future endeavors here. Stick around to the channel to see more deck profiles, tournament results, more meta content, so on and so forth. All right, heading out.